Paul, yesterday was fantastic. And today, for all of the guests joining online, this event has been completely sold out for weeks and it's now being live streamed. Paul, can you tell everybody a little bit more about what happened? How did this event go from just getting booked to oversubscribed, lined up out the door, and now even taxing the online streaming service to get this out to you now?
Well, a couple things. In all honesty, I did this event 4 years ago to the day, and COVID hit. We had over 200 people in the room back in February 25 to 27 of 2020. Then we all got a little distracted afterwards for the first little while.
Something happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then, interestingly, tomorrow is February 28th, and I did my first of 19 different enterprise architects roadshows last year. A year to the day tomorrow.
That's remarkable.
Fate. It had to be fate.
And everybody's warmed back up to this whole in-person event again.
Yes.
Yeah, thank goodness.
But these people forced me to do it. I mentioned these 19 cities.
Right.
Every city, there was someone who was at my 2020 event. And I said, Paul, it was a great event. When are you doing it again? First city, okay, I'll think about it. Second city, okay, I'll think about it. City number 14, 15, I eventually pick up on things. I said we had to do it.
Had to do it. And then this event has come together. And yesterday, there were all the pre-conference sessions across 4 tracks.
For 4 hours.
4 hours.
Yep.
And a reception.
A great welcome reception. We had one over at the Hilton. It was jam-packed, and it was just so rewarding. I'll use the analogy. We're both Canadian in hockey, right? But Americans, we don't really tailgate at hockey games. They do it their football stuff. But it was like we had an epic tailgate party yesterday, where we had 4 different streams, AI, many different topics. People gathered together and in a quirky kind of tech way, right? Getting together and their real kind of tailgating. And then we popped over to the Hilton, just down the road, and that's when the hardcore tailgating happened.
That's the reception.
That's the reception.
Right there.
Reception, we had people we had about 200-ish people that were at the individual pre-cons. We had people flying in from actually Germany, Norway, UK, many different places to come to the pre-warm-up party.
That's fantastic. So we've also got a little bit later today a welcome message from Thomas
Syvertsen. For those who don't know Thomas, he's one of SAP's board members, a brand new board area that he's running now. And he is so passionate about the topic of enterprise architecture as well as enterprise architects. And we'll hear in a little while, actually, when you do an event and you have a team that does a lot of work pulling it together, his video messaging to me really set the stage and reminded me of why we're actually doing this. You'll hear it soon.
Yeah, and
it's almost like actually our national anthem.
Holy smokes! OEAs. What I love about this is the idea that we've got this community of people that are coming together to learn, share, connect, and there's a little bit of FOMO for folks that are watching online. And I think next year the event might need a bigger venue.
Yes, well, not just a bigger venue, but I actually just had a call last week about I'm getting asked to bring this forward in different variants to UK, to France, to Germany, and I had a call last week about someone wants us to bring it to India in July, and also into South Africa in August. I need more air miles, Shaun. I really need more air miles.
Absolutely more air miles, more nights in hotels, and this is how these events happen, though. And what I think the enterprise architects have not really had a community of their own to help share what's really working and what's not. I feel like that's one of the most amazing things is getting together with peers from other organizations and being able to share in an open, transparent kind of way to learn from others what's worked and bring those questions. Because I think anybody that's coming, if you're not bringing a question and you're not seeking, then you're only going to get a little bit out of this. Even if you're watching online, I think the idea of showing up with intent and really leaning in, everybody's going to get out of this event what you put into it. And if you're willing to share, you're going to get a lot of other people willing to share with you. I love that about how these events come together and the friendships that are made through events like this. And even people joining online have the opportunity to either join the next event and to pick up from the conversation and the content online. And I love that. So thanks for helping make that live stream happen.
But I just wanted to mention that'll really emphasize in terms of we have a great community of people coming together, and I think it more as a community of practice and engagement. So we're all helping to evolve their enterprise architecture practice. But really what's key to me, yes, we have the technology. We're going to be talking AI, we're going to be talking S4, we're going to be talking all kinds of BTP stuff. We're talking RISE, all that. Yes, that's fine and dandy. But to me, the most important thing that we're talking about is the human skills. We're talking about, with the pace of change these days, we cannot expect to not have to evolve correspondingly as humans. There are new skills we need to learn. So part of actually the technical stuff, as I said, is very exciting, but helping people with the human skills, getting better at storytelling, emotional intelligence. And we have a great session by Feroz on Wednesday about multidisciplinary engineer. What are the skills to survive and thrive in today's world? And you mentioned before about doing things, other events, and people cascading. This is not just a one and done event, in my mind. What it is the start of a learning cohort, both for the people that are in the room and outside the room, and a further cascade of engagement across different themes, both virtually as well as face-to-face meetups as well. And that's how we move the needle, not just for organizations, but for ourselves.
I love that. And the for ourselves, to me, that hits near and dear to me with that idea of the never-ending climb, right? This is the first step for a lot of people in learning more about how to be a better person, to be able to share more of what you learn, and to be able to create more value, create more change in the organizations that we work for. And that really unlocks some massive, massive potential. And when I think about the opportunities for people that are in the room, the people that are online, this first step as a journey is made possible in part because of the organizations that have helped you create the time to be there and to help all of these people that are traveling in and all of these people watching online. When you think about 6 weeks, 6 months after this event, what are the most important things that you really want to make sure people take away from this experience?
I mean, first and foremost, that they're part of a community learning together and work together. That's key to me. They're part of a community where I go back to the friendships that were established dating back when we first did this event 4 years ago, are lifelong friendships. And, there's so many friends that are in the room here today that were there then, and actually friends I know that are online watching this as well, that people basically have done something to maybe, accelerated their S4 journey.
Yeah.
One of the most important things to me, we're having full stream with this community around, no surprise, AI. And AI is like a massive fog right now. And this is a community to help dissipate that fog, help move in the right direction. And we are there's a lot we have to learn. There's a lot we have to take, what worked, what didn't work. And those are things that we talked about it in our pre-conference yesterday, and we're going to be talking about over the next few days.
I love the idea of friendships that are created, because anytime you come to an event like this, you have the opportunity to make a lifelong friend. Like, you could even call it the 3 a.m. friend. Oh my God, the conversion is stuck. What do you think? Kind of friend. And those are the people that you get a chance to meet when you lean into the event and you bring yourself and you share what you are looking for. And when you could do that, you create the opportunity to make those lifelong friendships. And is it fair to say that there's some introverts in the community, Paul? That is this a thing? How do you know you've met an extroverted developer or architect? They look at somebody else's shoes. I know there's some people in the room that feel this. So I know that if that's something that you're feeling uncomfortable with, just know that there's lots of other people that are feeling the same way, and they're also looking to go and learn, to go and explore. And it's a safe place, right? This is a community where you learn, you meet people, you take things home, and you make a difference. And that idea is so important. I know one of the things, Paul, having been to some of the in-person events that you'd run in the last couple of years, I think that inclusivity of hey, we're all here to learn. And when somebody has challenged the group with, hey, this is what's hard for us right now. This is what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to get to S4. I'm looking to keep our core clean. I'm looking to figure out how to describe build apps automation to our executive as not the magic wand that just means we never have to code anything again. And how do you articulate these things means that sometimes you need help from a friend that you'll meet here to have that next hard conversation when you come back home. That's the soft skills that really come out of this, isn't it?
And it's relationships that are built. You know, it's interesting. When people look at it, an agenda does not describe one of these events. Because what an agenda is, it just shows some sessions on a page. And yes, it shows the names of some wonderful speakers. But what it doesn't show is, I'll term it, what we fill in between the cracks. It's the hallway conversations. It's the engagement and receptions. It's basically the welcoming attitude of everyone in the room. You mentioned about introverts, and I've seen it in many cases. Introvert day 0 or day 1, friend by day 2 and day 3.
Yeah.
Post the event, it's a buddy that you're reaching out to at many different points in time. It's basically getting to almost reunions in different places by groups of these people that didn't know they were from the same cities other than gathering again.
Yeah, it's like the first few years you and I would only ever actually meet at like Sapphire, except turns out we live in the same city, not that far apart. That's pretty cool. What I love about events like this is the opportunity to go to the source of information, and the speaker lineup is tremendous. I think the number of speakers that have invested time to travel and share and put together content to bring that knowledge, to share that knowledge, is phenomenal. Can you tell me about some of the ways the people that are involved in helping make this happen? Can you tell me about some of your favorite examples of things that you are looking forward? Don't give it away, but things that you're looking forward to people sharing in sessions later today and tomorrow, and maybe some highlights shared at the reception.
Okay, so when one sort of builds a program, we want this to be a short podcast, right? Because I could go on for a while on this.
Right.
So phenomenal. We have Rashad kicking off on the future. His talk theme, no slides. Rashad does not have any slides, about the future does not fit in the containers of the past. And to me, when I recruited Rashad in, and I love his blogs, I follow him every Sunday. But basically, that whole theme about the future does not fit in the containers of the past, for both our enterprises and ourselves, really is a red thread through our entire event. And very pleased that we have, SAP spent a bit of money on LeanIX, an enterprise architecture management company. Very honored that we have Andre Christ, who's the CEO of LeanIX, in for his first visit to SAP's headquarters in Newtown Square. And he's keynoted my virtual events before, but not the face-to-face event. And we really have a number of people, I'll term it a collection of storytellers going through, some fantastic stuff on, S4 has been around since 2015. Conversations about everything's being automated these days, about automating S4 transformations. There's a lot of stuff that can be done. And we have Ranjit Panikar's coming in. There's sometimes you can have too many tools, but you need to know what are exactly the right tools today to do the job. We've got a phenomenal video from Jarrett Coyle on Jarrett. Fortunate for him, he got to go to SAP's Winner's Circle, and he had to withdraw from my event. But fortunate for us, he's spending the time to deliver tomorrow a 30-minute video, Captain's Proton Guide to the Gen AI Fourth Dimension. I think remember the exact title. So the world premiere will happen tomorrow, and you folks will get to see it. We also have Andrew Binns coming in to talk about adopting a corporate explorer's mindset. Go ahead.
Just before you get onto corporate explorer's mindset, can I just build on something?
Sure.
That means that Winner's Circle is right now. That means that the level of sales content at this event is near zero,
pretty much.
So
that was masterful planning on my end. Masterful planning.
Yeah.
If you can prevent sales guys from selling at your event by ensuring that they're at another big event, right? So
it's perfect.
We have a learning forum happening right now.
So it's either going to happen at CSCom, FCom, or it's going to happen during the week of Winter Circle. I like, obviously, scheduling for next year gets easier. So yeah, thank you. Sorry, keep going.
And we got Andrew Binns talking about adopting a corporate explorer's mindset. We all need to be corporate explorers, and we're going to talk about a corporate explorer, being part of a corporate explorers club, Enterprise Architects Edition, which is pretty cool as well. And we have the amazing Damon Johnson. He is chief architect of Rise and Cloud ERP. Damien's pretty good about none of the marketing stuff around Rise, and talking about really putting in a great perspective for customers, but also the pitfalls as well. So like everything, they're positive and there's some negatives, talking about some of them as well and how to overcome some of them, hopefully. And the other dimension is Rise has been around for a little while, living in a Rise world. What does that mean? Because things do change.
Yeah.
So
how true is it that you don't need any basis people? Like, great questions, right? And I really like the way the straight feedback of people that have been there and already on Rise in the same room with people that are thinking about it, people that are evaluating what they're going to do, how they might go about this, and what they need to be asking. Because sometimes the questions that you can leave with are almost as important as the answers that you might take as well.
Right. By the way, insider tip for this event, or something most people don't know. So I've had a logo that I used for around the group that says Enterprise Architect SAP Community. And it purposely doesn't say Enterprise Architecture SAP Community. It says Enterprise Architect, because going back to what we spoke a bit earlier, it's about the people. It's about the enterprise architects. And not just the human skills side we involved in the program over the next few days, but we have a great session later this afternoon, two great sessions, many great sessions, but I'll just highlight a couple. One great session on basically building an enterprise architecture practice, some best practices around doing that. So the practice side, no SAP in that conversation, but how to get better at your practice. And the other piece in the equation we have about is an enterprise architecture role in S4 transformations. So from front end, during, and back end, some key learnings from around the world, and basically in terms of how architects can play a bigger role and make more of a difference inside transformations. We could go on, I could go on for another half hour on some of the highlights. I've just gone for the highlights through these 3.5 days, Shaun.
That's fantastic. Paul, when you're thinking about things that you would invite anybody online watching to look for, watch for, and what you would suggest for somebody watching online, how they can get the most out of that online experience of the next little bit, what would you invite them to think about?
First of all, put a do not disturb sign on your door. So if you're at home watching, family members, others don't interrupt, right? So take this time to immerse yourself, take your time to jot your notes. And even, hey, I'm on LinkedIn, reach out anytime to me, Paul Kurchina, if you got a question of anything that pops up. And watch for as well, because the plan is to take this content that's at the event out of the event in different ways. So I actually have AI looking at everything we're talking about, and there is going to be an edited ebook after this to share with people about key learnings, insights. I'm going to have a stream going out through March that's going to take some of the key sessions and provide some good summaries. And watch for this. I've asked my speakers, all the speakers in the program, say, each of you give me your money quote. Give me your one key takeaway quote at the end of your talk. So when people are finishing your session, what is the one thing, a sentence or two, only a sentence or two, not a sentence, two sentences that run a page long. But
no run-on sentences.
A sentence or two, what is only the one thing you want them to leave the room with? So just that alone in the context and all this wisdom from the people in the room will be awesome. It is awesome. I've already looked at a number of them already, so they are awesome.
That's amazing. Well, it's a good thing I got mine done and sent in too. So, Paul, if landing the plane here and getting ready for the opening keynote, what last thoughts would you like to share with everybody watching?
I think, lastly, we are a true community of engagement and practice. This is not just a one and done event. This is getting plugged into a learning community. This is a group where the one thing we're going to do over the next few days, by the way, most of these people that are in the room have to produce some form of trip report, right? We are going to curate a trip report from the community as well. So learn, what were the key takeaways? What will you do with what you learned? And what do you want us to focus on next, which will help our curriculum that will cascade beyond that. So quite excited about all that.
That's amazing. Thank you for tuning in, for investing in yourself and in your team, in your never-ending climb. And Paul, thanks for helping make this event happen. This is going to be amazing. Let's get to it.
And Shaun, thanks for the support of ConvergentIS in this event as well. It's appreciated.
Thank you, Paul. Amazing.